Okay, everybody. All right.
Hello, everyone. Day 8 of the Hangathon. Wow, look how much we've come, how far we've come, how much we've covered, and how exciting today is because yesterday you guys found out my challenges, and today maybe we'll dive even more into them. So, we have a lot in store for you today. We are almost finishing the your sales letter, and the step-by-step that John is taking us through is really helping a lot of people start crafting their messages. And we'll share with you a few of them today because really amazing. Just a few hours with the accelerator, you need to see what people are producing. Before we get into that, though, we really want to talk about what you guys get today as part of the accelerator. So all the bonuses that we've covered, John is throwing in another very valuable prize, and it is a course. So John, welcome. Tell us what people get today.
Well, I'm not going to tell them around. They're going to have to stick
No.
around. No way. All I can tell you is that we sold this course for many years for $9.97. So it's a $9.97 course, and it will answer a ton of questions regarding everything you should do, like to get more something. I'm not going to tell you what that something is, but something is very, very important. And I will tell you this. Let me tell you this. This is unannounced. I mean, we didn't talk about this beforehand, but if you're a member of Accelerator, it doesn't matter how you're a member of Accelerator, you just have to have Accelerator membership. If you get in before we close out February 1st at midnight, we just started this yesterday on the Copy Posse. Is the only place you'll see this. We're doing for the first time ever a $50,000 value prize to one person. Yeah, it's a contest and it's tight. But basically, I'm going to give you the gist of it. One of my writing partners, Jon, and he's one of the top copywriters out there right now, and one of the top copywriters at Agora Publishing, and Accelerator customer and member, and also a member of my mastermind. He and I decided that we would take one person's completed video sales letter script. In other words, the script for your VSL has to be completed, and that we were going to do a total makeover using very new strategies for what we call the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end of your VSL, research for the VSL, completing the editing part of the VSL, stuff that's so cutting edge. We are literally just now formatting this product. So that's just a big, big, huge, massive bonus. Of course, we can only guarantee that to one person, but anyone is eligible if they have a VSL script. So we literally charge $50,000 to redo a video sales letter. So that's an amazing giveaway. We're doing it just to prove a point that the last time we did this, we took a sales letter from 0.5% to 9% conversions. So do the math. That's a massive increase just by doing the alpha and the mega part of this. So looking forward to that, but you guys have to, of course, be members. So we'll cover how to be a member later on in the broadcast today. So I think you wanted to start off with some comments from people, and then we'll dive right into the training for step 3, the big problem. That's what we're covering today, is the big problem inside the video sales letter format.
Well, before that, guys, I mean, if you just heard that offer, this is what you're going to start hearing every day when you wake up after John does your VSL. From that, we're also seeing really, really great things that are happening from the Hangout. Aside from all the great content that you guys are getting, this is the side effect that Hangouts and relationships and conversations are bringing, and it's so much fun to see this. So this is from Leanne, and she's saying that the Accelerator series has not only made me discover an amazing tool, but astounding people too. So thank you, John and Ifat, for these great hangouts. And actually, this will not have happened if you guys did not engage in the comment, respond to each other, find what you have in common, and connect. And if you take those relationships and bring them into, what do you call it, the posse? Accelerator posse?
The Copy Posse.
The copy posse. If you take those relationships in the copy posse, can you imagine what will that do for your business and your life, just in networking alone? So I think you guys should just get it. Don't wait. Change your life. So this is one. And then another really great review that I want to share. One of our friends has been watching this hangout this past 10 days, not been very engaging, but really watching and taking it to heart. And then he took the accelerator yesterday and just spent a few hours with it. And I really want to share with you what he said. And it's so beautifully written. So as soon as he shares that publicly, I'm going to link to that in the comments so you guys can really see the structure and how well he's modeling John. So this is what he says. I had a problem. I've never felt that I've been able to produce written content or videos that get the point I'm trying to make across in the most effective, efficient way. Well, that's not actually true. What I meant to say was that in order for me to write content or create videos that I felt worked took me forever to do, basically because my knowledge of writing and creating videos is limited. I've struggled to find the words I should use or shouldn't use. I've researched so many how-to courses on what I should do, too many to mention, but I've always felt that after following a step-by-step guide that it still didn't feel right. Sounds familiar? Well, I'm relieved to say that now I'm feeling so much more confident in creating what I've come to hate doing because of my lack of knowledge. Why? Because I found the accelerator from the master wordsmith himself, Jon Benson, and that just after having access to it for less than a day. A bit of a background. Jon gets $5,000 per hour from his clients. That alone grabbed me because anyone commanding that price definitely knows his onions. He's the kind of guy that if he tells you to paint the fence, a la Mr. Miyake, you do it without questioning. What is the accelerator? Well, accelerator, simply put, is complete access to Jon's brain, a step-by-step guide on how to create content from VSL to emails. So if that doesn't convince you guys that you can have a tool, like a secret weapon, basically, in your arsenal that will take your business, your language, your communication skills to the next level, I don't know what else you need, but maybe you need today's prize, which is going to get you there even faster.
It's gonna, yeah, it's gonna get you. Yeah, it's a really, really awesome thing that we decided to give away. And guess what, guys? If you bought yesterday, the day before, hey, congratulations, because you get it too. I want to make sure that everyone knows this. If I offer a bonus on something like this, where we're doing what we call rolling bonuses, and the bonuses tend to tear down, the most lucrative bonuses are for fast action takers. Everyone that took it, you guys get it too. So you guys just sit back and go, wow, I just get more stuff than I paid for, and it's awesome. This is a very valuable course, and the interesting thing is the course that I'm giving away today came before 3X VSL and 3X Accelerator. This was the very first course that I did, and it was it's very interesting. You'll hear that it goes back 5 years, and the data there is really priceless. And I found this. I was sitting around and I found it. Wait, man, I can't believe we forgot about this. You know, we literally forgot about it when Accelerator came out, and so people were raving about it. This is how Andy Jenkins and I connected, for example, and so I can't wait to share it with you guys and give it to you for free when you order today. And I'm going to actually send that into tomorrow too, so I'm going to give you 48 hours, because some people did say, hey, I just now saw this at 2 o'clock in the morning, so we're going to, for starting today and tomorrow, we'll give you that bonus. So let's dive into the training, because today's training is very important. It is, well, all of the day's training on the last day's training are important, but this one is very important for you to solidify in your customer's mind the fact that their problem is bigger than they think it is. So let's mute me so I can come across without that echo, and we will dive in. All right? So if you allow me to share my screen, I will tell you the secrets to everything. No, well, not everything, but definitely I will tell you the secrets to the big problem. We start here today with the big problem. What is the big problem? We talked about in day one the fact that you absolutely have to break a pattern. You have to establish something that's unique and strong, grab someone's attention, lock them into your message. Step 2 is building the rapport, letting them know that you're a lot like they are. You're just a few steps ahead. You figured out a blueprint, a system, a way of doing things. But you didn't do this with being born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You did it by pulling yourself up through the bootstraps, or your customer did, or the story that you wrote did. It has to be something that builds rapport to where other people can connect with you. And then inside step 2, just go back and watch yesterday's video if you didn't catch that, we transitioned already into talking about the fact that the problem that your customer thinks they have, it is a problem, but it's not, the problem's bigger than they think it is. It's a lot bigger than they think it is. So the very first thing that we want to do is go over the overview. And this is the overview right here. So the overview is basically going through what I call the conspiracy cycle or the conspiracy theory. So one way that I've been very effective at selling things is to create a conspiracy. Now, I don't mean a conspiracy like like a conspiracy nut kind of thing. Like 911 was an inside job. Some people believe that. Who knows? It may be true. I don't know. I have no dog in that hunt. But this is a true like conspiracy. In other words, this is like the underneath reason why people are having the problem. And I want to stress this. This is not a BS. I'm going to make something up. Conspiracy thing. This is for someone that's an expert in any field. The real reasons why people struggle. So I'm going to walk you through how I did it for weight loss offers, how I've done it for dating offers. You can throw any offer at me, and I'll tell you how to do this in the question and answers afterwards. But it's very simple. We talk about the problem like this. Now, you may believe that your biggest problem with weight loss maybe have been discipline. Maybe it's been the fact that you were hungry all the time. And yes, those are problems. But the real problem is that you've been lied to. You've been deceived from day one by the media and by these fad diets that you've heard about since the time you were a child. Do you realize that since the time you were a little baby, you've been bombarded with images on the television set of fast food, of food that you can get in an instant, of food that you can get on the run? You've been programmed to eat poorly, and it's not your fault. Now, we're going to get down to the it's not your fault. There's a whole section dedicated to that. But the conspiracy theory is what's not their fault. It's not, I never say, look, the fact that you're overweight is not your fault. What I say is the fact that you're struggling to lose weight, it's not your fault. You've got a lot of factors against you. And we build a cycle in here. So we briefly touch on it during the overview. And we basically go from the overview into what I call the big lie transition, okay? And you can see all down here, again, we give you tons and tons of copy choices on every little slide that you choose. You can pick and choose, and you can edit every single one of these that you want. But this is what I mean by big lie transition. It all started with this big lie. And in my case, what I say, there's the media that's going against you, and you know what? There's even a bigger problem that you're facing, and it's the fact that you've been misinformed on what to eat. Because the lie that the government has been telling us for decades, the fact that we need, and I'm telling you just right out of my own VSL, just using words off the top of my head, the fact that we should eat 11 servings of grain. This is a big lie. It's a big lie. It's kept a lot of people who are really thinking they're eating healthy actually eating foods that are not good for weight loss, that promote insulin resistance, that promote diabetes. So let's start right there by saying, look, there's a lie, and I'm going to tell you more. This is the loop. I'm going to tell you more about that lie as this presentation goes on. So that's just opening a loop to tell them that it's about the lie. So, and by the way, we get to the lie. We get to more about that lie loop when we get into later on into the bigger solution, which you'll find out tomorrow. But right now, just realize if you're struggling with weight loss, or if you're struggling with dating or finances or online copywriting or whatever, it's not your fault that you've been exposed to these myths and lies. Now I can turn this quickly around to talk about internet marketing. So let's do this with internet marketing. A lot of people believe that I'm up here to just follow my arrows. A lot of people believe that your number one struggle with internet marketing is the fact that you haven't got enough traffic to your website, or maybe your website isn't pretty enough. But you want to know something? That's a lie that's been perpetuated by people who sell high traffic items and really expensive, pretty products. In reality, that's not true at all. This is the overview. In reality, the real reason that you haven't been successful online is because you've never learned the art of persuasive copy. And you know what? The art of persuasive copy can be a challenge if you try it from scratch. No one's ever told you the truth that there's actually formulas that you can use that anyone can use. And you want to know something? The big lie got started about 5 years ago when internet marketing got crazy on traffic and got crazy on funnel creations and got crazy on these kind of things that are really more advanced marketing tips to barely inch up your sales. And they glossed over the seemingly hard part, which is actually getting the words that get cash. You know what? I'm going to tell you more about words that get cash as we proceed into this presentation, and how easy it is, how much easier it is than you think it is to get words that get cash to work for you, because that's the number one problem that you're facing. And if you haven't heard about this yet, or if you haven't been able to get words on your sales page that aren't working, it's not your fault. You have never been exposed to a formula that allows you to do this. So today you're going to be exposed to a formula that allows you to do this. So please, don't blame yourself if you don't have a sales page that converts, if you're confused on what to write next, if you're struggling over every word that goes on your sales page. Don't blame yourself. Blame the greedy marketers that are trying to sell you the shiny red objects, the shiny bright balls that you want to chase, the next whiz-bang app selling thing that's out there. Blame that. That's really who's to blame for this, because let me tell you, they're great marketers and they know the power of words that get cash and they're using it against you. That's the truth of the matter. The big truth here is that the same principles that you need working for you have been used against you. They've been used against you. And I'm going to tell you all about that and the solution that I found to the problem that doesn't make you, doesn't turn you into a professional copywriter, that doesn't make you slave over a hot copy template, that will literally give you the words that you need and give it to you faster than anything else out there. Okay, I just walked through, again, top of my head. None of this was I'm not reading a script. None of this is pre-written. It's just that I've done this so many times that formula sounds that seamless. Now, as you heard, that wasn't, step 3 is not a very long thing. It's not a very long thing. The longer parts are step 4 and step 5. The longer parts, step 4 is the bigger solution, where we'll go into actual tips. Okay. The other thing you can do, by the way, in the open loop is you say, I'm going to tell you the solution to that. Plus, I'm going to give you 3 tips that you can use today. I'm sorry, I did forget to say this. I'm going to give you 3 tips that you can use today that will help you get started the moment that you stop watching this video, so getting more words to get cash. And that's where you go into step 4, that you get into the 3 tip sections. So if I can give someone 3 tips today and they're watching this, they're going, great, this is going to keep them holding on. And that's what I mean by an open loop. An open loop is something where I open an idea but I don't close it, and I tell them that it's coming up. And if the idea is good enough, people are going to hold on. They're going to watch through the end of the video to where they can see at least the 3 tips. And as you'll see in step 4, the 3 tips are so strategically designed to open certain patterns inside the brain. I'm going to hint a little bit about tomorrow. Basically, we're negating what we call the no response and engaging what I call the yes reflex. Inside step 4, that's what happens. We get a reflexive yes instead of like a reluctant yes. We make it an easy reflex, and the way that we do that, and fortunately for you, you don't have to know any of this copywriting stuff to do it because it's all already in Accelerator. But what I'm doing inside the copy is I'm integrating what I know is their deepest core values, their deepest fears, the deepest things that they already know. I already know that people have deep affinity for love, family, faith, or belief or spiritual. I use all these big things and I link them to the solution, because the solution for me, and this is what you need to take away as a marketer, is always about giving someone a tool to get them X, Y, Z. But remember, the problem's bigger than they think it is. So this is where it gets really, really interesting. The reason why we call it the big problem is because your problem isn't just about, in this particular analogy, isn't just about having better words on your page. It isn't just about conversions. And by the way, this is part of the big truth. It isn't just about the conversions. It isn't about just getting words on the page. The real truth of the matter is that your problem is getting the freedom that you want. And it's getting the lifestyle that you deserve. The lifestyle that's going to erode right out from under you unless you get this down. We're talking about kids not going to the college that you want them to go to. We're talking about having you work 16-hour days rather than 6-hour days, maybe even 3-hour days. We're talking about putting your life on autopilot, getting cash working for you like a good stock. You're getting your products making money for you overnight instead of having to wrestle and finagle and worry about next month's bills. Do you see what I'm doing here? The big truth section really opens up the problem into a much more expansive, much more holistic, and certainly core value driven problem. So here's the secret to the big truth. If you're taking notes on the sheets, I hope you really are, the big truth section is very important for you to go into. Here's the truth of why you've been deceived, but also here's the truth of why the problem's bigger than you think it is. And the problem is always bigger than you think it is, because every single person listening to me right now has a product or service that hits on one or more core values. Human values that are across the board. We all want more freedom. Name me one person that goes, you know, I think freedom sucks. I really hate freedom. Now, you can find tons of people that hate the color red, but you can't find anyone that hates freedom. Well, you can't find anyone in the civilized world, I'll put it that way, that hates. None of your customers would hate freedom. You can't find anyone that hates family. Yeah, family sucks. I just can't stand the thought of loving people. Unless they're sociopaths and you don't want them as customers. So this is where we're going to go. The big truth of the matter is that your product or service, in some way, form, or fashion, touches on and helps people get a better life, get more freedom, and yeah, actually get love, relationships, and stuff like that. I even talk about that inside on the sales page for Accelerator. I have video sales that are obviously, because you guys have seen it, you're going to see it again. But I also have a written sales page that I use as a tutorial. I actually walk potential accelerators through how I wrote that sales page and all the samurai tactics that I'm using. And one of them is certainly hammering on the fact that, look, this is going to make your entire life better, and it's going to give you a lot of the respect that you've been wanting to get. Because for me, that's one of the big hot buttons for me as far as what my customers, in my opinion, is like, look, I told everyone I'm going to go off into the internet marketing jungle. I told them I'm going to make it, and like a hunter that goes out for the game, I keep coming back empty-handed, and I'm embarrassed. And people are starting to kind of make fun of me. Maybe my family's going, yeah, the internet marketing thing. God, when are you going to give up on that freaking pipe dream? So I addressed that problem because we've all felt it. We've all at one time said, maybe that's just because Brendan Bouchard or Andy Jenkins or Eben Pagan or Jon Benson or whoever is already, they just got lucky. Or maybe it's a good old boys club, or maybe it's just that maybe they're cheating, maybe it's like what's going on with the Super Bowl right now, maybe they're deflating the balls, which I think is nonsense, but that's another story. but maybe they're cheating or something. No, we're not cheating. I certainly wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. It's just that we know that we use words very effectively, and we have really, really good products. That of course is a very important thing. But great products do not tell your customer that their life will get better. You have to do that. You have to make the connection between, having words that get cash on a sales page. My life is awesome. My life is so much better. I make the joke, actually, I stole it from Anthony Robbins. Money doesn't buy everything. People that say that don't know where to shop. It truly, it is a complete joke. Money does not buy everything, but it does allow you to arrive at your problems in style, and I do like that. So it solves a lot of working problems is what money does. It solves a lot of problems and allows you to avoid a lot of the problems that you would otherwise have. So the question that I would like to pose to you guys today before we start opening up to questions is this: would you prefer a life where you have the same problems you have right now, but another zero added to your bank account? Or would you prefer to just keep it as it is? So when people say, money doesn't solve all your problems, yeah, it just makes them a lot easier to deal with. And I'm telling you flat out, because I've been in both places, I promise you that it makes it a hell of a lot easier to deal with. It reduces the stress. And you know what really makes it happy? I'm just going to... Man, I think I'm going to sound really sappy for the next minute or so, but that's okay. And man, this is on video. So in fact, I'm going to take the screen off just so you can see that I'm actually, I don't want anybody to think I'm reading some script or something like that. So I'm looking right at you in the video. This may sound really, really sappy, but I'm going to tell you guys the truth. So all the stuff I have a deep passion for. I love marketing because I think entrepreneurs and marketers make the world better. Entrepreneurs of all kind make the world better. Everything that you owe advancements to, everything that from medical science to space technology to the cell phones that you use, at some point or another was an idea of an entrepreneur who said, you know what, I have an idea. Nikola Tesla is one of my great heroes because he was, other than being such an incredible genius, he had so many ideas, and his biggest passion wasn't money. His biggest passion was, I really want to help humanity. And I just love people like that. And the money comes with it, and that's what's really, really awesome. But you know what else comes with it? And this is the part that sounds really kind of sappy, but it's the truth. So my wife left yesterday for a 4 or 5 day work trip, and she's doing some photo stuff in Florida, and then she's attending, we do a Super Bowl party every year with all of our fitness friends, and there's literally hundreds of them at a BioTrust event. And I didn't go this year. I'm recovering from knee surgery. Plus, also, I'm staying here to work out myself, and all the travel was just not going to work. And so Andrea and I don't spend a whole lot of time apart, and it's healthy to do that. But you miss your lover when she's away or he's away, right? You miss your wife or husband or partner. And I was last night going, you know what? I just want to read some of the comments that people are leaving and seeing if I'm doing a good job. And it's easy to look at the sales and go, wow, we're like doing great with sales. Yeah, I usually do great with sales because I know about words. But you know what? I am just blown away by you guys. I'm blown away by the comments that you leave. I mean, so many people are just leaving comments like, thank you for giving me this book. It's really helpful. I mean, there are some glowing testimonials on there for Accelerator members. That's awesome. But hearing that it's really changing people's lives, this is what I'm in it for, you know? It's awesome to be in the game where you can have it all, where you can have the money and the freedom and the lifestyle, but you're really doing something that's moving humanity forward in a very positive direction. So that may sound sappy, but that is exactly where my core values are, and that's why I target those core values inside a lot of the things that I talk about. So inside this, to wrap up the big problem, I really believe the more that you get in touch with this, I'm tapping on my heart, and the heart of your customer, where their deepest values reside, and you can communicate it in a way that is not the least bit like scammy or shady or lying, that you can communicate the way I am. You can look at my eyes and tell you that I'm telling you the exact truth, that you really do want their lives to be better, that you want to help them, that you know that you have something that will help them. Half of your marketing efforts are done. And that happens to be, in my opinion, a skill set of words, as much as it is a skill set of communication and all that kind of stuff. But when you're not looking at someone face-to-face, eye-to-eye, and you have to communicate that, the next best way to do that is a video sales letter, because your voice can do it. That's why we do the vocal tonality technique training. Your voice can convey this. And it's very difficult to fake that. It is very difficult to fake. I guess if I was a professional actor, maybe you could, but I'm not. So yeah, so the bottom line is the comments, and Yafat sends me tons of them, and I'm like, I just don't even know what to say sometimes. I'm blown away, and yeah, I even teared up once or twice. So that's the coolest part. So if you can do that to me, you can do that with your products to other customers, and imagine what that's going to feel like. You probably already are. If you're making sales online, someone's written you a nice email or whatever. I'd like to see that multiplied by 100, and that's basically why we want to bring you into the Accelerator fold, because this is a tool that really does help people do that. So that's my sappy but honest story today on why the big problem is so important, and why that little section, that step 3, has such significant meaning to you and me, and should have it to you. Because you know what, without really showing someone that their problem is bigger than they think it is. I mean, when you watch the VSL close that I'm going to read yet again because we have a different offer, but watch it again and listen carefully to how I'm doing it, you'll hear me talk about the problem that you really do have. In fact, there's a line in there where I say, it really is that dire. Your situation really is that dire. And if I don't tell you it's dire, I'm not doing you a service. So I'm going to end, I promise, by saying, and we'll take questions, and then I want to go over the offer again. But if I didn't tell you that I thought your situation was dire, if you don't have words working for you, I'd be lying to you. I can't tell you that, yeah, just throw up anything on a sales page and it's all basically the same. I mean, you know, crappy copy, great copy, yeah. I mean, you can just feel free to dig into any marketing report, any survey, any third-party survey, any professional marketer. There's a reason why copywriters get paid a lot of money. It's because we understand that yeah, words are very important. But I can't expect you to write all that stuff. I can't expect you to know all that stuff. So that's why we've given you every single word that you have inside of it, inside templates, multiple iterations of those words, so you can pick and choose, edit, mix, match, write your own using the video tutorials. You'll see that once you see the formulas, you'll go, oh, that's how he's saying it. Okay, well, I could say it this way. Presto, you've just got a completely original video sales letter. You could do that from the very beginning. I've seen video sales letters that came out of 3 Accelerator that I swear, only I would know that it came out of there, or maybe people who are really close to it, because I can see the pattern. But they just took copy and they said they got inspired, they got different ideas. And these aren't writers; these are just guys, marketers, girls that own a business. And that's what inspires me when someone sends me the email saying, "Hey, I started with nothing, and now you saved a home. My kid's going to a great college. I sold it. One guy he didn't have the money to buy the program when it first came out, and sold his car. And I sent him an email and said, look, I'll give you your money back, obviously, because we have a money back guarantee. But so the worst thing you'll do is you'll have to wait 30 days to get a car. But chances are very great that at least you'll be able to get a better car." And so the cool story is he emailed me back, goes, "Well, it took 60 days, but yeah, I ended up buying a BMW." So it was pretty cool. So he sold a crappy car and got a BMW. But so it's those kind of stories that really mean something to me. So that's the story for today. There's hopefully you got a lot out of the teaching. And this was more meta. I realized that the last, since 7 or 8 days have been very specific. This is specific, but it's also meta. Meta meaning big picture. I really want you to see that the overarching goal here is to communicate the fact that you understand your customers' needs, but you know that they have a bigger problem than they think that they do. And that's what you're here to address. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk about the bigger solution. No matter how big their problem is. I mean, we're down to like life stuff here, right? Man, your life is going to suck unless this changes. And that could mean that you could lose respect. You could even lose your marriage. I mean, you could go into like the rabbit hole here. However, my solution is even bigger than that. It's going to save all of that from happening. And that's tomorrow, the bigger solution. And that's far more specific. We've got 3 tips, 3 formulas inside the bigger solution that we're going to go over. Those are the tip formulas. We're going to tell you exactly how to structure those tips so that the psychology again negates the possibility of saying no and engages that yes reflex to where it's a reflexive response. Like, it makes total sense to everything I'm congruent with already. In fact, not doing this would be incongruent with who I really claim to be. So that's what you want to do inside of a very persuasive sales letter. And again, this only works if your product is actually for somebody. Never try to sell somebody something they don't need. That's just an ass thing to do. And I've said that there's nothing new about me saying that. I've said that in everything I've ever did. So in other words, don't try to talk somebody into buying something they don't need. That's ridiculous. You only want to talk to people that you know need your product. They just don't have it yet or haven't made up their mind yet. Then persuasion is really where it's all about. So that's it.
I just came to mind is, the level of communication and the emotional triggers that the VSL, the accelerator, is creating, not the VSL, but the accelerator is creating, the whole emotional story. Anyone ever created a proposal or a Valentine card or something like that with the accelerator? Because, Valentine is 2 weeks away, guys.
I don't know about a Valentine's card. I know that many copywriters have gone through the course. And when I say copywriters, anyone that learns how to write persuasive words, they don't have to be professionals. And they've said, yeah, that it's improved their communication with their spouses. So that's as far as I can go with that. I just know that for my communication with my spouse, let me tell you, it's really awesome because and hers back to me, because we're both very good wordsmiths. So we're very, we can be very persuasive.
I was just thinking, I was like, it's coming up. A lot of people are struggling with words, and this actually gives the structure and the story. So guys, you can start, guys, not girls, guys, you can start with, where the whole emotional, the trauma, the horror story, what your life will be without her, and then I'm totally off the hook there. But
the whole new angle. I should have never thought of it. So yeah.
So do you want to let people in now, or do you want to take a few comments and then jump into the...
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let people in now. I'm going to go over the same exact thing that we've gone over the last couple of days. Watch it carefully. I'm actually asking you to watch this, not only because I would love for you to join Accelerator if you haven't already. Yeah, I'm going to give you the special $9.97 thing that we've got at the very end of this, and I'm going to announce it at the end of it. But I want you to pay attention to the words I'm using. Now, the first day, I got a lot of feedback from people saying, "Wow, that was just killer, very persuasive." Yeah, that's great. But now I want you to pay attention to the actual words I'm using and why I'm using them, and see if you can dissect what I'm doing based on. You only got 3 steps of the 5, and this is actually more of just the close section. This is actually more of I'm briefly combining steps 1 through 3, very briefly. But because this is more of a close. We've already got steps 1 through 3 because we've been talking for the last 5, 6, 7 days. But watch what I'm doing very carefully with the words. Ready? I think that you.
Yeah, so hold on just a second, guys. The link. So we really would love to allow people who have not yet met us face to face. We've seen you commenting. We really want to meet you face to face. So if you have not yet joined us in the Hangout, please click the button, refresh the page. The button to join the Hangout will become active. You can join in. Make sure you're muted so that you're not interrupting Jon's presentation, and then we'll just take your questions. So go ahead, refresh the page, join us in the Hangout, mute yourself, and have fun.
Awesome. Okay, guys, this is the short presentation you're going to watch today to see how you can get Accelerator for free. Curious? I'm sure you are curious. So here's what I mean by that. Now you've seen the Accelerator in action. You've seen it in action for the past several days, and you've experienced a small fraction of the automated selling power the Accelerator delivers online business owners around the globe, guys and girls just like you. And now you know beyond any doubt that the most vital component of your marketing arsenal is your sales copy, without any doubt. Every marketing pro will agree with that statement without condition, and frankly, only a fool or a dreamer would even dare to dispute it. However, the most shocking thing you're going to see today isn't the Accelerator. As cool as that stuff is, as cool as the software is, as cool as the course itself is, it's the fact that the Accelerator actually costs you nothing at all. It's 100% free the second time you use it. Here's what I mean by that. A video sales letter or sales page, as we've been telling you, is a $30,000 to $50,000 proposition. Whether you spend it or you don't, you'll either spend it and you'll make the money. There's no way around this. And that's a B-level copywriter. That's not an A guy. And that's also assuming that you're lucky enough to find one of those B-level decent copywriters, and you have the time it will take them to research your product or service, get to know your personal story, do the research that you're going to have to pay for, by the way, out of your own pocket, and then finally sit down and write your VSL for you. This process not only costs upwards of 50 grand, it costs you time, and time equals money. Right? E equals MC squared, time equals money, same exact principle, especially in the hyper-evolving world of internet marketing. And another thing, you won't learn a damn thing having some hired gun spend months on your sales letter. You won't learn anything. So what that means, and this is important, is that you'll just have to repeat the process over and over and over again, because even the best sales letters and VSLs have a half-life. You know, they have a half-life. Even the sales letters I write, eventually too many people see them and you have to change them, at least the first 20, 30 slides. So that means you have to pay them again. Well, listen, as the world's top paid VSL copywriter, and I am, and the creator of the VSL itself, guess what? I'm going to think that I'm more than qualified to tell you the truth about what you're up against, if anyone is. You either nail your sales message right now, and you get it right ASAP, or you drive another nail into your internet coffin. That's the situation you're in. It's really that dire, and coating it with sugar isn't going to serve you at all. It's going to do you a disservice. So remember, sales copy is the oxygen of your business. And without a cash cow VSL working for you 24/7 around the clock, your business is starved of the oxygen it requires to survive. Death is inevitable, unless you can hold your breath a long, long time. Now, there is good news for those of you who want to breathe new life into your online sales. Accelerator has zombie-like powers. Zombie-like resurrection powers, resurrecting the sales of just about every product or service it's touched and giving you new life in the form of oxygen-rich cash windfalls. My 5-step VSL formula found within the Accelerator just continues on and on to be the 911 sales savior for a lot of dead-in-the-water marketers from every part of the globe. Guys and girls that have no sales page working for them at all, not even a product, or a sales page that doesn't work well. And sure, while Accelerator has also helped propel the world's top marketers to even greater levels of success, such as Ryan Deiss. This is what they use for their in-house stuff to write their $1 million VSLs, and they put them out constantly. I mean, there's a new VSL from Ryan like every week. Andy Jenkins, a beautiful, beautiful video creation guy, just stunning videos, still uses VSLs to pitch and close because it makes things so simple for you, and time is money, as he says. Perry Marshall, one of my personal heroes, came up to me and said, I couldn't stop watching these training videos, and I don't watch anyone's stuff. Man, this stuff's outstanding. Perry uses it for his VSLs. Look, Vin DiCarlo, Pandora's Box, $50 million a year VSL. He shows you the steps, how to go through it start to finish. Right out of 3X, he wrote that. Mike Palmer, 9-figure End of America VSL. I'm getting an incredible amount of great information out of Jon's work. How do you improve a 9-figure VSL? You make it even better. That's how. Mike feels same. I was able to write the first VSL he's ever written in 1 day using this formula. Granted, that was a long day. Mike really put in some hours, but he got through it in a day. That's amazing. I recommend 1 week. And dozens of other 8 to 9-figure marketers I could just rattle off. But you know what, that said, here's what really matters to you. That's cool, but here's what really matters to you. Accelerator's real success is in its ability to give everyday entrepreneurs, just like you, a fair and realistic shot at big-time sales success. Isn't that all you can really ask for? Giving you a fair, realistic shot at big-time sales success? I think it's a freaking dream to ask for that, and a tool that can give it to you is amazing. How? By giving you the power of words to get cash in a proven, nearly automatic platform that requires virtually no writing skills whatsoever. As you've seen, it's push button, click button, simple, and just have to edit some things. And you can edit other things if you like, but you know what? A lot of people just go through Accelerator and just click and go. They just want to get something out quickly. We've made it as automated as humanly possible. That means the moment you use the Accelerator, it literally will pay for itself and then some, often exponentially, generating far more profits than your initial small investment from that very first VSL that you create and put online and start making sales. Literally pays for itself while letting you keep making profits. For as long as you own your business, that means no monthly fees, by the way, no royalties paid out to me or to any other copywriter, no long delays, no hoping some strange copywriter that you hardly know gets it right. You don't want to go through that. Now remember, a VSL or sales letter is a 30 grand to 50 grand proposition, no matter how you slice it. So even if you just scratch the surface with Accelerator and get a mere 10% of that proven selling power for yourself, just 10%, the Accelerator is free the second time you use it. It's just math, folks. That's just the truth. It's a tool that pays for itself rapidly and consistently across the board, as you'll soon see. Now, since the Accelerator empowers anyone, regardless of your marketing or writing experience, to crank out money-printing VSLs and sales pages virtually on autopilot as humanly possible, here's the truth. If that's all it did, if that's the entire scope of Accelerator, that's all we managed to do for you, it would be an absolute sin to let you have it for under 5 grand. Just a sin. That's a fraction of what a VSL copywriter would charge you. And remember, those are the B-list guys. The A-list guys are 100 grand. And that is before they take a big old chunk out of your profits forever, for as long as you have that video sales letter up on royalty fees. However, as you've seen over the past few days, I do have a habit of radically over-delivering value. My wife calls it a bad habit sometimes because I am late for dinner a lot. I think it's a good habit. And you could say that when it comes to giving you more than you expect, I'm a wretched sinner. In the best way possible, in this particular fashion. That's why the complete Accelerator system you're about to hear about now may not come as that much of a shock to you. You've gotten used to me over-delivering, so let's start with this. I'm going to take $2,100 out of my pocket and put it into your future success. I'm literally investing in you. As much as I would like to promise you that you're going to follow through on your own the moment you get Accelerator and join the mile-long line of testimonials from guys and gals, who range from total newbies that you're about to meet, they're now making lots of money online, or at least making and supplementing their income at the very minimum online, all the way to the pros that you just saw. I know for a fact that you need a bit of hand-holding. I've done this long enough to know this. That's why when you join the Accelerator family today, you'll not only get the training videos, the pre-written copy that you've seen taken from all the top converting VSLs I've done over the years, and that push-button simplicity that Accelerator online proprietary software gives you, allowing you to click, select, and save your way to a VSL-ready PowerPoint or Keynote file. You're going to also receive, these are the words that have been used before, unrealistic, too fantastic to believe, but it's 100% factual. You're going to receive this VIP add-on, 4 one-on-one Accelerator implementation and marketing strategy coaching calls, 4 private calls with you one-on-one from my team of Accelerator marketing and implementation. Man, that is a $2,100 out-of-pocket value. If you called us, that's what we would charge. Just you and one of my trained Accelerator coaches. This is not a group call. Helping you implement your vision from the very start and making sure you get it done right. Just so imagine this with me just for a moment. Imagine it now. A professional marketing coach helping you from the very start, saving you months, even years of trial and error and frustration, plus giving you their valuable experience on how you can best market and position your product. And you know what? If you don't have a product, just picture how much faster a coach can help you inspire and get you finally done, get you off your butt and get that product out the door. A coach is a miracle worker. I'm giving you 4 sessions. So here's a recap of what you're going to receive today in addition to everything you just seen. Your lifetime Accelerator VIP user license. What does that mean? No monthly Accelerator VSL fees. And your access is guaranteed for the rest of time, as long as you're a customer in good standing. While others have paid $297 a month for Accelerator continual access, you're going to be locked in for life without continual monthly billing or any royalty fees taken from us whatsoever, period. You get to keep it all. Plus, all 12 hours of the Accelerator Persuasion video training system, the Accelerator copy library written by me, including multiple ready-to-edit samples of every single slide and paragraph of your VSL or sales letter. Can you imagine that? There's over 1 million iterations inside Accelerator. 1 million different combinations. And that's not including what you can write yourself, because you're going to be inspired to do that. And a lifetime membership into my exclusive Copy Posse members community online. Man, this is where you can find deals, find affiliate partners, get answers to your most pressing questions. Be in a group that understands you, that knows you, that respects you, that gets where you are. A lot of people are where you are. A lot of people have gone from where you are to where you want to go. What a great group of marketers that you can hang out with. Hundreds upon hundreds of them. And so much more. There's just too much more to cover in this short little presentation. So when you combine all of this together, your Accelerator VIP membership has a line item value of over $8,500, give or take a few pennies. And that's before all the bonuses you're about to have handed to you as well. However, your lifetime access to Accelerator VIP isn't going to cost you $8,500. It's not even going to cost you $4,500. Not even $2,500, at least if you act now. Click on the button now that says, click here now to get 3X Accelerator. Don't you just love how vague I am? Click here now to get 3X Accelerator. Or if you would like, open a new browser window right now and go to this hidden page, https://accelerator.com/deal. That's Accelerator, SELLERATOR.com/deal. That's the hidden page for this discount. It's all yours for $21.97. One single payment of $21.97, no monthly fees whatsoever, no royalty fees whatsoever. You're locked in for life. And if that's too much of a stretch for you, you can pay a little bit more and use our installment plan of 6 easy payments of just $3.97. That's not $3.97 for the rest of your life. That's just 6 payments, $3.97. Every 30 days, you'll be billed $3.97 for 6 payments, and you can have the same exact value. That's an $800 savings, by the way, over our February 1st price of $29.97, where Accelerator rightfully belongs. And even that is a steal. But it goes to $29.97. Mark my words, February 1st at midnight, you can save $800 now and only until February 1st. So a few of the testimonials, we get hundreds of them. We have them on our website if you care to read all of them. Ken Wood says, listen, I got your stuff after watching this on a webinar. I went through Survey Funnel. I found out you found your stuff through a webinar. I watched it. I bought it. I rewrote my VSL script using the Accelerator, and look at the difference. This is a Wistia graph that shows engagement. Look at his engagement from his old VSL. Just drops off like a rock. Look at the engagement on my VSL from the Accelerator. He used the Accelerator copy. Think his sales increased? Oh, yeah, drastically. This is a great one from Eric Wong from Toronto, Canada. Did a $110,000 launch right off the bat. So the $2K invested in your training, well worth it. Kind of a joke, of course. You get 110 grand back. Does it work in different countries? Yes. How about India? took the 3 accelerator principles just to create 2 or 3 free strategy sessions. So it's not, he didn't even create a sales page. He just used the techniques to create a strategy session videos. And he used those strategy session videos to get 600 email IDs, but he can only handle like 8 guys at a time. And he says the framework works like hell. Thanks. So within 48 hours after you sign up today, maybe 72 because we have a lot of people signing up, you'll be assigned a personal accelerator coach, as I promised. And within days from now, you're going to be well on your way to having a high-converting VSL working for you. Finally, breaking free and getting that lifestyle, income, freedom, respect that you absolutely deserve, finally. And before I cover my etched in iron guarantee, have a look at the insane bonuses, as if all that wasn't enough, that I've lined up for fast action takers today. And that means those who act before we raise the price to $29.97 midnight February 1st. Once we do that, no guarantees on any of this stuff. These are the fast action bonuses. Ready? These are 4 free gifts, by the way, to accelerate your online business success, to accelerate that trajectory toward the freedom of lifestyle, the income and security that I think you're rightfully owed. Do you think you're rightfully owed that? If you don't, please change your mind, because you are rightfully owed this. You're a hardworking person, and I want to help you get there. Security, freedom, we are rightfully owed that as entrepreneurs if we work hard, and this is the tool that will help you do this. And these are the bonuses that are going to help you get there so much faster. I mentioned this one, the Copy Posse. $297 a month. If I was to charge for it, it's yours free. When you go there, you're going to be inundated with people that are going to greet you. They're going to understand you. They're going to be able to understand your problems, and they're going to be able to give feedback on your video sales letter. You've got a Copy Posse group there there's like-minded people ready to help you. And on top of all that, you got me. I'm in the posse virtually every day, 5 to 6 days a week. So I'm answering questions. I'm $5,000 an hour to consult normally. You get all of that for free. That right there is an insane bonus. This one's pretty damn good too, though. If you don't have a product, or if you want another product really quickly for an upsell, the 28-day product creation formula, I sell it for $497. I'm going to give it to you for free. That means 28 days. Literally, do this, do that, do this, do that. I don't even know what I want to write about, John. That's great, because the first few days goes through the concept formula. I help you find your passion, bring it out of you, and then take that passion to a select audience and say, hey, is this going to work? Is this going to work for my audience? You'll know. So that means that when you create it, you won't have any problems. You'll get it right off the bat. And it's so great, you'll be able to do this in 28 days or less. It's yours free. Bonus number 3 is the $100 million Conversion Secrets Video Vault Series. Now, I sold this for $997 as an upsell for a long time, and I'm giving it away now for free during the Hangout-a-thon. Why? Well, I think it's one of the most valuable things I've ever created. This is 8 hours of in-person training. They paid me $2,500 a piece to be on this, to teach these guys what I'm teaching them. So you're going to be a fly on the money wall watching me teach the top marketers in the world all the cutting-edge conversion secret techniques that I use in video sales letters and sales pages. We're talking about guys that already have 7, 8, even 9-figure sales pages and VSLs, and we make them even better. Imagine what their knowledge combined with mine can do for you. 8 hours, watch it at your leisure, but watch it no matter what you do, because this is a very lucrative bonus, especially if you want to get serious about your income. And now we have bonus number 4. This is before our Hangout sessions are over, meaning before this ends on February 1st. I'm tossing in the Traffic Pros Crash Course. $997, yours free. That's 10 hours of video with me and the top traffic guys in the world. Guys that sell traffic, guys that give traffic away, guys that have figured out free traffic strategies, guys that have figured out how to monetize YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. Every traffic secret that I could uncover, I cover in these 10 hours of videos. So you don't have to worry about the traffic aspect of your business at all. Imagine you've got everything covered from product to traffic, and the most important thing of all, you got sales copy. Because let me tell you, that's the most important thing of all. You now have it all bookend with these bonuses. We've got you covered from start to scratch. What you don't see on here is I just added the email formula videos free inside Accelerator. Got questions with emails? I broke out my best email structures and formulated them in 5 video tutorials. Watch those tutorials and use those formulas the next time you create an email, and watch what happens to your open and conversion rates. Yeah, email is incredibly important. We use it all the time. So I wanted to give you a tool that you could use for you got to get in here every single day and use this. A very sticky tool. Now, I've got a mystery bonus that we were talking about earlier. And this is good for anyone that orders before the end of the day. I believe the date is right. If that's not right, I think it's actually it's going to be the 29th, and I'm going to take this back.
Yeah,
it's the
29th. 29th.
Yeah. Okay. It's so scratch that. It should say the 29th, and I am actually going to extend that to the 30th as well. If you order before January 30th, 2015, you're going to get what I'm about to tell you. I'm going to give you the 3x conversion formula video course. I've sold that for years for $997. It's a complete course to take you on how to optimize every aspect of your sales funnel, from your opt-in page to your emails to your exit splashes to, of course, your sales pages. I cover my mini sales page formula in there. I cover everything that you need to know on how to maximize conversions, including some technical stuff that my friend David Bass joins me with that you probably have never heard of, that may be preventing your emails from getting into inboxes, or maybe preventing people from hitting your site at all. I'm giving you this for free when you order before the 30th at midnight. January 30th at midnight. And if you ordered today, or if you ordered before that, you're going to get this for free, because that's the way I roll. So anyone that's already a Accelerator member, guess what? I'm giving this all away for free to you. So awesome, isn't it? Now, that's a $997 value. That says $1,500 value, but that's the wrong slide, so I apologize. $997 value. I never overestimate my values, but that's going to be the bonus for today. That's an awesome bonus. We've got you covered head to toe. All you have to do is click on the button that you're seeing on the screen right now that says get the 3x Accelerator. Click here now to get 3x Accelerator. Again, it's a very obvious button, and that will take you to the $800 discount page. It's secure checkout, and we'll greet you literally. You'll have all this in your hands within just a matter of seconds, and you can get started. And we can't wait to greet you inside the Copy Posse. You'll get an email. You'll get a greeting from Leanne, our head of customer service. You'll get you'll see a lot of people saying, "Hey, welcome to the club." Once you join in, and you'll start immediately writing your very first VSL and learning the techniques that I use to write the copy as you go. So you'll never have to guess at this stuff again. Again, like the gentleman said earlier who just got Accelerator yesterday. Wow, I'm using this for emails. Yeah, it's very applicable for any copy that you write, not just your VSL. So very limited time. We do go up in price to $29.97, so help me God, no kidding. This is not false scarcity. We've been planning it for 6 months now. It goes up February 1st at midnight. So please get on while you can, because it's the same exact value that we're going to have at $29.97. So let's get you in. Let's get you started with our one-on-one coaching, and let's get you these bonuses today. Thanks, Jafat. Let's turn it back over to get some questions.
Yeah, okay, so guys, actually there are a few ways that you can save $800 right now, either to your right or up. The banners, both banners take you exactly to the same place where you can grab all these bonuses and save $800 and start today. So we have 2 more days. You guys can just come in, ask any questions that you have after you purchased it, which is super valuable. When do you ever get to do that? Buy something and ask the creator any question you have about it. So John, unshare your screen, and there you go. And I think we don't have many questions today. I think, one thing we do need to do, and we completely forgot to do, is go over the handout. So let me share my screen, and John, just help us fill out the blanks here.
Okay.
So day 8, step 5 now. The big problem, number 1, do you remember what it was?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go for it.
I know this by heart. Number 1 is, please show the screen again so I can walk it right through. Okay, I just tell you what it is. Number 1 is overview plus conspiracy cycle. A is overview. B is big lie transition. C is big lie loop. D is it's not your fault. E is blame this. And F is the big truth. This is the stuff we went through today. Taking the notes underneath it. Number 2 is simply the bigger solution open loop. That's the open loop that takes you into step 4. That's the entire big problem section.
Awesome, because people were going through the notes and were like, "Oh, this is too fast. I'm gonna have to go to the replay." So no replay.
Yeah,
You guys got it
you
right
should go through the
there.
replay. You should go through the replay. And if I didn't go this fast, guys, we couldn't take your questions. So yes, we're doing this so that we can serve all needs being served here. So yeah, hope you understand.
Exactly. And I think we're actually very good. I don't see any questions in the comments. Guys, I don't see any new people joining us in the Hangout. I know Bahimi just joined us because she had a challenge watching the replay again. So we might be actually finishing on time today. What do you think?
I'd be shocked if there's no questions at all about the big problem or any other questions that are relative to that are pertaining to either Accelerator itself or questions regarding anything regarding copywriting. So here's your chance. We're online here to ask. So the last few days we've answered a lot of questions, and maybe it's just that we answered all of them. I don't know. Maybe so.
I know, no more objections, guys. I think everybody's heading for the buy button.
Yeah, that's good.
That'd be great. There's a question from Terry Hunter. What is a member in good standing?
Oh, hey, you know what? That's a really good question. Member in good standing is someone that hasn't refunded the product. That's it. So yeah, that's assuming that you don't buy it and go, because let me tell you, we have a very low refund rate. My CFO, he basically wants to see me double our refund rates, and I'm just telling you this. I'm telling you some stuff that's so like no one would ever tell you. Well, maybe it will let you trust me even more. But my CFO goes, "Man, I'd love to see your refund rates double. You're not selling hard enough." I'm like, "No, that's not true. That I'm selling. I know I'm selling very hard, and I'm selling very effectively, and I think that I think I'm doing a good job with it. Maybe it's the fact that the product is really, really, really good, and you're used to crappy products. So maybe that's the case. I don't know, but he's saying it in somewhat of a joking way because there's an old adage that Dan Kennedy started that said if you don't have 25% refunds, you're not selling hard enough. We don't have anything close to that, but we do occasionally get the person that will buy a product and they will look around for a day and they will refund the product and they think they can keep using it. Unfortunately, our software is far savvier than that. So the moment you refund the product, you're kicked out, and you're kicked out of the copy posse, and you're kicked out of everything else. Because we only let paid members in. Hey, wow, that's only fair, right? So all those nifty bonuses and all those kind of things go, boom, they're kicked out the moment that anyone does do something like that. And I'm being honest with you, everyone has refunds, and it is rare. For us, and our refund policy is really, really solid. We have very, very cool people in our group, and that's basically who we attract. That's why I wanted to do the Google Hangouts. Yafat was saying most people in Google or Google Plus are pretty serious folks and pretty ethical folks. So that's awesome. That's who I want to market to. That's who this is written for. So we don't have a whole lot of that problem, but you always get the stray, guys coming in there. So we have to say member in good standing.
So that's a good one. Another great question is about the subject line. So I'm finding my subject line would also work well as a hook or as a pattern interrupt in the VSL. Please advise regarding the best use and or tie-in the VSL and email. Thank you so very much. You are great. Yes, you are.
What is your subject line?
Actually, you know what? This is Christina. So Christina, you want to jump in? See?
Hi there. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm working on the art, and it's something along the lines that my dad didn't buy Rothko. So Rothko is like a high-end painter, and there's something else for the written thing, but what do you make a high-end buyer open their email with for art? And then you don't see, most people are going to say no, their father didn't buy Rothko. I, in fact, when I was 12, told my father to buy Rothko. We would have had a collection worth about $20 million today. So the thing is, there's ethics. For me, I believe in ethics and service. So as an artist, I cannot say buy this and it will go up in value because we never know. People usually hedge with art, real estate, or gold. People lament if they do not move forward, but I can't come from that place. And the thing is, in getting this right for myself, I can help a whole lot of artists and dancers and people in the arts who traditionally have trouble raising funds for either their organization. So this goes beyond me. It's selling me to a high end and then me applying it for other people that I can assist.
Okay, so what I would do is go. This subject line would work really well. The truth about using art as investments. So, and capitalize the word truth. People tend to open those subject lines, the truth about whatever, and then you can go into there's a psychology there. It says, a lot of people think that when you buy fine art that it's always a good investment. That's not the truth. Anyone promising you that is lying to you. So again, that's a great way for you to solidify your ethical stance and say, while it is true that some of our customers have seen great, I'm assuming that is true, have seen great response, have seen great returns over their investments. That's not the real. That's not the real reason you consider our investment art. The real reason is what we talked about earlier. So, great question.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank me for choosing that question. Martin, I see you're next. Try to do that.
Hey, Martin.
You just muted yourself, so unmute again. There you go.
Martin. Okay, please speak.
Yes.
Okay, we have to go on. So.
Yep. If you want to leave a comment, Martin.
I saw Martin's question pop up in the chat, so I can answer the question. I think it was something about legal. Martin, if you can chat again. I don't know what happened with the audio, but you are marketing to lawyers. I think I saw that because.
Yeah. So how would you alter the script to market to attorneys? Would it be more business-like? I'm selling AdWords management services.
Okay. Yeah. So similar to what we talked about yesterday and the day before. Are your clients human? I'm waiting for the answer.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
Are you sure they're not alien? They're not larval. They're not.
Well, they're lawyers, so.
Well, so they're borderline human. No, so again, humans all the same, man. I mean, it's the only thing you change in how you approach persuasion when we talk about making persuasive language for humans. The only thing you change is the dynamic structure of how you speak and some of the dynamicism of the words. So, but you don't change you don't say, oh, that's too persuasive, or oh, that's going to be too. Some people use the word salesy. It's like nothing. It's not salesy if you're talking to them from, again, looking at their core values, looking at what's the biggest reason they have the problem they have. So I will guarantee you this, Martin, that the problems that you think that you're solving with your customers, and I'm assuming your customers are attorneys, those people have feelings and fears and the same thing everybody else has. If you can touch base on how your services meet those fears and can relieve the bigger picture fears that people have, whether it be security or freedom or whatever, you're going to be just as effective as somebody selling anything else. That's a very important thing to do. In fact, I think it's extraordinarily important not to avoid that out of fear of, like, it's a professional, whatever that means. It's a professional environment. I mean, I have many friends who are attorneys, and I can sit them down and just talk to them just the way I just talked to you, and they're going to listen to me like crazy. So it's no different. But with the exception of, like I said, like, you wouldn't want to use some very hokey, salesy language, which I don't like to use anyway. So, but that being said, you don't want to avoid being too persuasive out of fear of, like, some sort of a breach of sales ethics or something like that. So if you ask me something specific, like if you say, here's what I'm marketing to, how would Accelerator, or how should I use Accelerator to modify that message? If you ask something really specific, I could give you a much more specific answer.
Good. There's another question from Sherry about how you're going to use the VSL. So Sherry, unmute. See?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi, Sherry.
welcome back.
I didn't jump in earlier because I was trying to give somebody else a chance. I understand that you have to work through the formula, your template, to get your script and to get all of your copy. But I think I missed the actual taking it from that to the video setting. I've seen several VSLs come through my emails from other people, but is it simply as easy as what you're doing? You're putting up your PowerPoint and you're just recording it as a video and as you're talking through it?
Yep, that's the yep. And a lot of people use voiceovers. You spend like $300-400 to get a professional voiceover to read. I have a good voice, so I can use my own voice, but you don't have to. So one of the highest converting video sales letters of all time has a horrible sounding person reading it. It's Porter. It doesn't have a good voice at all. But he is the person behind the company, so it works. Now again, inside Accelerator, there's a whole folder called Producing Your VSL. That's where you would go to find that. It's got 9 different videos producing the VSL from start to finish. How to use Camtasia, how to use ScreenFlow, how to highlight your slides, the vocal tonality technique. In other words, the technique that I patented that says here's where you elongate, and here's where you punctuate, and here's where you slow down. So yeah, it's all covered in there, and that's actually the easiest part. People are like tech phobic, and I get that. That's the scariest part for some people. They feel like, well, this part I can kind of understand, but I'm afraid I won't be able to produce it. That's the least of your worries, because even if the worst came to absolute worst, you could literally turn over your access to 2 people, a voiceover guy and a guy that does slides, and within a week they'd have a VSL up for you. You find those people on Elance, Odesk, VWorker, any of those virtual sites. They're easy to find because it's a very big industry now. Thank you, John. I made a very big industry. But yeah, so it's not difficult to find those guys at all. What's impossible to find unless you have something like this is the qualified copy. So awesome.
Thank you.
And we have new people are joining us. That's really awesome. And we have also a lot of questions in the comments. So let's start with let's see, Stephen. And then those who received answers already, please drop off and make room for other people. Stephen?
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Stephen? You're on the screen, my friend.
Yes.
Hey, Stephen.
Yes.
Do you have a question?
Yes. I was wondering.
Can you turn off the?
Do I need to
Not the microphone, but the window that you're watching the hangout from. Just close that window.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Close the page that you're watching the hangout on.
You can mute.
Okay, just to chat him the question so we can chat him and tell him what to do so we can move on.
Is that better?
Yes. Go for it.
I guess not. Okay.
What's your question? What's your question, Stephen?
Hey, we can't have this kind of radio silence, so Stephen, chat your question. Sorry, I'm sorry for the technical errors, but we can't have that.
Yeah.
So we just have to move forward.
Did
radio silence is the killer. I was a DJ for a little while, and we call radio silence the death of radio. So in this case, it's the death of Hangouts. So let's continue on. Stephen, we'd love to take your question, but please figure out the technical stuff so we can get in.
Okay, let's do this. So then there's a question. Actually, what he wanted to ask, I see his question in the comments. Has anyone ever used Accelerator to invite people to attend a seminar that there is no cost to attend since sponsors are paying fees or to cover the cost of the event? And before you answer that, there's another question about live events.
Okay.
Yes, Liane is asking, however, how would you use Accelerator to prepare for a series of live events in a large number of different locations?
Okay, first questions first. That was actually one of the testimonials that I read. So, Stephen, go back and watch the replay of the Accelerator. And when I got to the gentleman from India, that's exactly what he did. He created 2 to 3 free training videos, and he used it as a way to, he had some sort of it was a live or virtually live workshop, and then he collected way too many. He only could handle 6 to 8 customers at a time, and he got like, I think he said 600 or something leads. So yeah, that's a very effective way of using it. You wouldn't use the full VSL for that. What I would do is compartmentalize it. So let me give you a great strategy for live events and for product launch formula right now. It's so simple. Product launch formula is a 4-video series. This is great for getting leads. This is great for getting for just collecting leads, period, or for getting leads to a sale, or for attending a live event. is you create a 4-video series. The first video would be step 1 and step 2 combined together. So you would just put step 1 and step 2 of the VSL formula. That's video 1, and then you would say, okay, tomorrow we're going to cover X, and X is going to be step 3. Is video 2, step 4 is video 3, and step 5 is video 4. That's it. I mean, so people ask me about product launch all the time. That's exactly what I would do. Exactly what I would do. I'd follow the 5-step formula and just combine steps 1 and 2 into video 1. So
awesome.
that.
So questions about. So first of all, Kathy says that your team has fantastic customer support. Thanks for sharing, Kathy.
Thanks.
It's true. And then Terry is asking, do your coaches have experience with offline marketing?
Yeah, they actually started in the offline marketing world. Several of them did. So yeah, they have lots of experience with it. Offline and online. If you're strictly offline, I'd like to know why. Because even local businesses, I really think, should be online. But so yeah, marketing offline, same general principles as far as like what you would write for let's just say it's a flyer or a direct mail piece. A lot of people use Accelerator for direct mail pieces. So the direct mail pieces, I don't know if you remember this or not, but Bill Phillips used to send out for Body for Life these letters, these long letters for metrics when it first came out in the 90s, and it just blew up the marketing world. I mean, it was off the charts. All he did was take a technique that was used in the 70s. That's what they did in the 70s and recreated it. Well, now people are doing that right now. They're going through Accelerator, creating a long script, sending it out in mail, and boom, it blows up. So that's one idea you can use even before you get into coaches. But yeah, our coaches do have offline. Tons.
Awesome. Carol is saying that she wanted to see my problem made worse. I have worse problem, Carol. Trust me.
Is she saying? Wait, is she saying she wanted to see your problem or her problem made worse?
No, my problem from yesterday. She wanted to see my problem from yesterday becoming worse today. And then
it was bad enough yesterday, I think. It doesn't need to be like, you don't want to slit your wrists or anything. I mean, we took it down pretty low. We took it down plenty low enough. The idea is that the problem was a lot worse than you thought it was. So
it was really. I sucked on social media.
Yeah.
There's another question from Gail. What tips for using the VSL formula for network marketing? Any particulars? Any recommendations?
Yeah, for network marketing, we do have quite a few network marketers in the company, and what they use it for is recruiting downline stuff. So I don't know all the terminology of network marketing, but so using the 5-minute VSL is what I would do. I have the 5-minute VSL formula, which is included in there. Watch that tutorial video. It tells you kind of which slides to use inside the VSL and how to make it to recruit that. And if the story itself is part of the recruitment process, like you have let's say it's a supplement and you need to tell the story, then yeah, just go right through like you create a video sales letter, because a lot of companies, whether they're direct marketing companies or not, they have lousy marketing. So if you can improve on it, you'll just be better at what you do.
It's true. John, I see you here. Let's see. Do you have a question?
Hey, John.
Hey, how are you? No, I don't have any questions. I'm just listening and enjoying.
Oh, cool, man.
Okay, and then we have Kathy here. Kathy, do you have any questions? Let's see. Unmute your mic. Because if not, I think we answered most of them.
And today I actually have, today we are jumping into, I'm going literally from this call to 12:30. We start my high-end mastermind calls, so we have to cut it short today. But let me just remind you about something that's extraordinarily important. Any questions that you might have, just put into Google Plus in YFAT, or I will get to them. But I do want to press upon you the situation when it comes down to getting involved in Accelerator before we go up in price. So I've been asked by email several times that stuff like, I really would love to have this, but I just can't get in until February the 15th or whatever. We have to have a cutoff date, and it's one of those things like if you don't have a cutoff date, you never will. It's kind of like if you tell your kid to come back and they don't have a curfew, and they say, well, come back around 12:30. Around 12:30 ends up being like 3 in the morning. Well, you said around 12:30, right? So our cutoff time is exactly midnight Pacific Standard Time, February 1st, and we're gonna have some fun with it because I'm a huge football fan. Even if you're not, it's still going to be fun emails because let me just give you away a little bit of tidbit secret. Accelerator members that do well make more money than Tom Brady does in the Super Bowl. Does that surprise you? Yeah. So I'm going to send out emails saying how you can make more money than Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Now, Tom Brady in general, no, maybe not, but Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. So we're gonna have some fun with it. You know, who's winning and who's this, and if the real winners are gonna be this. So look for those emails on Sunday. That's gonna be the last day. And come Sunday midnight, my time, it's over. So I mean, you may get lucky, and we might have a cached page up for an hour or something like that. But that's what we have to do that, because if we don't set that line, it just never happens. And so yes, we go to $29.97, and one of the questions is, is there something more, like do I get more coaching? No, $29.97 is the same exact thing as the $21.97. We're giving you the same exact value. If we add to it, you'll get it. So that's what's really awesome. So please take me seriously about that.
There are a few more actually that are coming in, which is really awesome. Danavir Saria says, I have a question. I'm still a little skeptical about the accelerator. I'm struggling in the self-defense niche. I've tried both VSL and sales pages and could never go above 1% conversion. I have 600 subscribers, a couple of products, and I'm planning to try the accelerator for 30 days. I hope it pays for itself. So I think actually that the calls with the coaches can really help him get on the right track with that. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I mean, in self-defense, it's again something I know a lot about. So I can tell you right now, they work really, really well. What you're going to want to do for sure, I mean, and everybody listening to me that has accelerator is going to want to do this. You're going to want to join in for what our super bonus is for the last 2 days. I can't tell you what it is. All I can tell you is that the problems that you're having with your video sales letter probably come before you ever start writing it. And we're going to give a free workshop that's going to solve that problem. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's just going to be really, really awesome. It's actually going to be a product that you guys are going to get the first part of it for free, just for being a member. It's awesome. And it's a lot of that has to do with pure positioning. So if you said you tried a video sales letter report. First of all, I applaud skepticism. I am a natural skeptic. I think skepticism is the only way to approach reality in the world. So bravo for you for being skeptical. Second of all, it would be like me saying, again, how long would you give your child to learn to walk? Well, he's had a week. I'm skeptical. I mean, he tried to walk yesterday and he fell flat on his face, and he tried again today and he fell flat on his face. I don't know. It probably won't work. Walking is probably a myth. So none of that makes any sense, right? It's the same thing with saying I tried video sales or sales pages or whatever the case may be. Well, maybe you didn't try them this way, or maybe there was just a little bit of a thing that was missing first. What I can guarantee you, obviously other than the guarantee that we offer, is that this is the best course in the world for it. And if anyone can figure it out, it would be that. And of course, combine that with the training you're going to get live in February. I think that, man, and with coaches, I mean, yeah, you put all that together. I don't think you've tried. Be honest with me. Have you tried that? Have you tried one-on-one marketing and consulting coaches along with the best VSL training in the world and our live?
You get 4 hours. I mean, 4 hours with the coaches. So yeah,
it ranges from 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, it depends on. Some of the calls are 30 minutes. Some of the calls are an hour. But yeah, that's it's usually around that time. So yeah, I mean, if you've tried that and you say, yeah, I still can't get it to convert, then you have a point. And the last thing I want to say is 1% conversion. If you're going to totally cold traffic, that would be really, really good. 1% is the gold standard. If you're going to warm traffic, that's not so good. And your offer, it's either your offer that's too high, or it's probably the words in the first part of the video.
Or maybe he didn't do the market research that we talked about in day one. Maybe he doesn't even know what his hook and he never asked those 4 quadrant questions. He doesn't understand what his audience wants, and he's creating it from a point of view of what he thinks they need.
Yeah,
so there's a disconnect there.
Yeah, and I've seen that in a lot of guys that teach martial arts and like sciences like that. I mean, I know it's an art, but it's kind of also a science. Is that they get wrapped up in the actual technique of it all rather than getting in the mindset of why some guy or girl would want to go through it. And yeah, go through Accelerator. You'll see what it does for you. That's my best advice.
So we have, like, let's say, I think 7 more minutes. So there are 2 questions that actually want to pick your brain and see how your brain is going to handle those 2 topics. Ready?
Okay, I've got 5 because I need to take a 2-minute break before I jump on the.
Okay, 5 minutes. Okay. You can do it in a minute and a minute. That'll be awesome.
Awesome.
Kathy's asking, how would you market a book called Your Digital Death? What happens to your online life when you die? That's one like that, and the other one. Wait. You got to ask one at I can't. One at a time. One at a time. Okay. Your digital death. What happens to your online life when you die? How do you market that?
I don't know what that means. So the very first thing I would do is change the title, because digital death is pretty awesome, but your subtitle doesn't tell me what it is. I'm having to guess. So if I'd made an educated guess, it would be, are you telling me that if I passed away tomorrow, what happens to my like Facebook accounts and stuff like that? Am I secure? Is my family secure? I don't know what it means. So the very, very first thing I do is rework that subtitle, because it's not clear. And the second thing of all is, if that is the topic of the book, you have to overcome something really big, which is the fact that no one wants to think about dying. And when people die, they were probably going to go, I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm dead. What am I going to care over yet? So you have to get over that. So you have to really, really, really attach it to their family. So I can tell you from a marketing position, that's exactly what you do. You attach it to their family, to their children, especially. And if it's what I think it is, if it's like if you die and you have this stuff that's online and stuff, I think that's what it is. But if it's not that, then the answer just not going to make any sense. So you can see that if I can't answer your question, then the tagline is off. So work on getting that tagline really specific, that subtitle of the book really specific, to where it says, you know, exactly what it is, and that's going to help right there. So if that is what it is, then if that is what it is, go for the family angle strong. Like, you're not going to care because you're going to be dead, but your family's going to care, you know. And if you love your family, you're going to. So that's where I would conclude with, if you love your family, you need this product. So. We've got literally 2 minutes left, and I have.
Okay, so CPR. Carol is a CPR instructor, wondering how you would come up with a big lie and conspiracy about that.
About CPR?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So your CPR instructor. The cool thing is, you wouldn't need some sort. A nightmare story works itself, right? I mean, you could even start with a nightmare story as a pattern interrupt. Again, once you get good at this, you can interchange stuff. Like, you could just tell the horror story of, like, somebody's just, you know, watching their son being pulled out of a pool or whatever, and not knowing what to do about it. And fortunately, there was someone around that knew CPR. But what if they didn't? I mean, that's really, I know you know that. That's really obvious. So what the big lie would be, is that you've seen people do CPR on television. So I read this because I know CPR. I'm a dive master, so I understand it. A lot of people believe that when I used to teach, it's like not teach it, but it's supervise it. How many people think they can do CPR? I would ask it, how many people think they can do CPR? And like, you know, most of the hands would go up. I go, now how many people are trained in it? And like 90% of the hands would go down. They think they can do it because they've seen people do it on television. And so one of the biggest lies is how the media portrays CPR, because it's almost always wrong. So that's how I would do it, and that's kind of a given. So, you know, if you think you can do CPR, you know, or if you have a special technique, then that's easy. Then you can say, most people teaching CPR are just doing it wrong, and you can actually hurt somebody and kill them, if that's the truth. If it's not the truth, don't say that. But what is certainly the truth is the media shows people. I mean, I see it all the time where I'm looking at somebody and go, that's not how you do CPR, right? You've seen that before, right? And here's another one. Here's another one. We have a mandate for our employees that they all have CPR training. So there's a huge market there, that is untapped. And most people think of CPR, they think of like, well, you know, if I have a relative that's got heart disease or something like that. But if you're in a group of people, or if you can market to companies saying, look, everyone needs to know CPR, because at any moment in time, somebody can just drop over. They could be choking. They need to know the Heimlich. They could have a heart attack. You could save their lives. That's a big market. So just a little market tip there. I try to give more value than people ask. So that's where I would go.
That's awesome. And guys, I cannot believe we only have 2 more days to let you pick Jon's brain. And 2 more days for this special $800 and all the bonuses that come with it. All these questions that you're having, you're going to get support from trained coaches. So, I mean, 2 more days.
Yeah, 2 more days. 2 more days. Now, you can wait longer than 2 more days. You're just going to have to pay more money for the same damn thing. So that's not a really savvy thing to do. And let me just say one thing. Tomorrow, bigger solution, huge. Because unless you give someone value inside your video sales letter, it's all blah blah blah. The rapport's great, you've got the rapport, but now you have to deliver on those big promises that you made in step 1. Well, step 4 is the delivery of that, and when I teach you how we deliver it in 3 specific tips, you're going to go, I got it now. I understand why that triggers the yes reflex. So show up tomorrow. Be here tomorrow. Thanks a lot for being here today, too.
Thank you guys so much. Show up earlier, put your questions, and we'll see you in the Hangout. Thanks.